Yes, so yeah, once again, if you missed the last day, I'm Juri Maibaum, and I have 3 very community-driven projects in the interchain, which are DeFi Times, Cosmoverse, and Frens Validator. DeFi Times is a media company, so as you can see, it's like very, very community-driven, and today I will basically show you how to build your own community for your very own crypto project. So first of all, what are communities actually? I mean, they are pretty omnipresent in today's society, and communities can basically be everything. Political parties, if you want to say it like this, these are communities. Football fans, also a community. And of course, YouTube communities. They are also called armies, for what reason whatsoever, but they are also communities. So now the question is, what is so special about crypto communities? It's very easy. Money. We are here, I mean, yes, we all like Cosmos, we are here for the technology, I know, but we also have a financial incentive. So, I mean, we hold, for example, a governance token, and we are part of a DAO, but we also hope that the DAO succeeds, so that our token goes up, and that we finally can buy our Lamborghini. So that's like, at the end of the day, we also want that. So, crypto communities also have a financial incentive. And now the question is, I mean, there are governance tokens, for example. So am I a community member just by holding a governance token and do nothing? Not necessarily. So, I mean, on the one hand, yes, I can hold my governance token, which is cool, but I'm pretty much an active. And I think for me, an active community basically has 4 different types of members, which are active token holders, so people who hold a governance token and vote on governance procedures, for example, or that take part in discussions on Discord or on Commonwealth, etc. So people that really actively contribute to the project. Then you have content creators, like, for example, my friend Cryptocito is a very good example. He's actually part, so he does not work for Osmosis, but hey, he covered Osmosis in the early days, which also brought a lot of value to Osmosis. Then you have the auditors, like people who just sit behind the laptop and make sure that the code is all right, and yeah, that have another perspective on the code and make sure that everything is safe. And of course, you have the builders, people that actually say, okay, I want to bring the project even I want to push the project even more and want to, for example, build additional applications on top of a layer 1, for example, or that say, hey, I can add a new feature to your project. So builders also bring a lot of value to your project. And this is the reason why we saw so many DAOs evolving in 2021. Because, I mean, it's very cool to work for a DAO, especially for a developer, because you don't have this 9-to-5 mindset, you don't have a boss. If you, as a developer, are part of a DAO, you can just create value, provide value, and it will be appreciated and therefore also rewarded. And this is why so many developers left companies and worked for Web3. So this was very, very cool to see. And now the question is, what makes a community actually strong? And it's pretty easy. So on the one hand, your community has to be active, of course. I mean, you can have 1 million followers on Twitter, but they are pretty useless if they do not engage with you. And it also looks very weird if you have 1 million followers on Twitter and you have 100 likes, the people will assume that you bought these followers. So this is also like not very productive to have millions of followers without having the activity that you need. On the other side, you also need kind of a certain quality of your community members, because I mean, ideas are very cool, but if you just have community members that talk and engage with you but do not push your project forward, it's also not that helpful. I give you a very good example. It's basically Osmosis. Osmosis is a masterpiece of how a community can work and how valuable a community can be. So I mentioned, for example, Cryptocito. So of course, Osmosis has a gigantic presence on Twitter, like one of the strongest communities in the interchain, one of the most followers on Twitter, for example, but they also have content creators like Cryptocito who decided to cover the project from the very, very beginning. And this is why Osmosis nowadays has even a stronger community than, for example, Uniswap or PancakeSwap, etc. So this was very cool to see. Now, I want to give you like a nice comparison to it, because let's have a look at communities in TradeFi. So communities in TradeFi, I mean, we all know these scenarios. So corporations also have communities in a different way. So, yeah, so you have the shareholders who hold a stock of a company, and once in a year they meet for a shareholder meeting, but your vote is not very strong because we're talking about a centralized company. You have the structure of CEO, CTO, CEO, etc. And the people have a very slightly impact on the governance procedures, and you also have to apply to work there. So it's not like, hey, I can create value, I would like to work for you, try this at Mercedes-Benz. They will say, yeah, okay, but please, we need to review your previous jobs, etc. So in a nutshell, communities in crypto are more powerful, but therefore also more important. So we basically have 3 pillars, in my view, in order to have like a successful crypto project. And these 3 pillars are, of course, strong tech. So, of course, your code has to be safe. And you also need a product market fit. If nobody wants to use your product or doesn't have the necessity to use your product, it's pretty much useless. But also, you need a strong community for the reasons I just mentioned, because the community is basically the project that takes the extra mile for you. And there are also many crypto projects that do not necessarily have a product market fit, or like not the best tech, for example, Shiba Inu, but they have a super strong community, and they brought the project, very far. Now let's talk a little bit about how to build your community. So there are a couple of ways. So the first way is to say, okay, so first of all, you have to create value. Then you need a very clear vision. Then you have to be active, and then you have to take people seriously. I will show you a couple of examples to bring this more into perspective. So one of my projects, as already mentioned, is Frens Validator. Just a short introduction. Frens Validator is a validator business, so we have validators on multiple Cosmos chains, such as the Cosmos Hub, Osmosis, Juno, you name it. And the first thing that we ask ourselves, who are we and what do we stand for? So we had a clear mission. We said, okay, we are not only a validator, we also want to become your friend. And this is actually a very basic and very easy mission, but we communicated this mission very clearly so that everybody was able to understand it. We repeated it on Twitter 100 times, GM friend, GN friend, etc., etc. So everybody was able to understand that's the mission of Frens. It was very easy and very straightforward. So everybody in the space was able to understand this mission. And I mean, there are other projects such as Region Network that also have a very clear mission. They are more complex, but if you think of Region Network, what are they going to do? Well, they want to solve climate change, for example. So again, a very clear mission, and that's why also Region Network has a very strong community. The other thing is, take your community seriously. And it's not like, yes, our community is important. No, you really have to act like this. So you really have to show the people we take our community seriously. This is a very good example. We were actually the first validator who did a tally vote. A tally vote is like a splitted governance vote. So as you might know, when you are a validator, you also have a pretty strong impact on governance procedures, because many people delegated your funds to you, so therefore you have like a very strong say in governance procedures. And what we always do when there is a controversial governance proposal on the hub, for example, or on Juno, we ask our community, guys, what do you think of it? We engage with them. We say, guys, your opinion is important to us. And so we said, okay, governance proposal 20, which was also the governance proposal that had to do with the whale drama, we said, okay, that's kind of a controversial one. We say we make a splitted vote, a tally vote, so 50% of our vote represents what we think, and the other 50% is what the community thinks. And this was how the community felt like, you know, like they really saw that they are important for us, and that it's not like just a friend meme. No, we are really your friends, and we show this in our governance procedures on-chain. Another example, and what's also very important, is be active. So another project is our media outlet. It's DeFi Time, so we have a YouTube channel and a podcast. And if you are like a crypto project, of course, you can talk about your products all the time, but the people need something to touch. They really need something to see and something to engage with. So this is what we also do. So we publish content like crazy on all the different platforms, week by week, week by week. And even though some of the episodes are not that successful, we basically show, yes, our show goes on. No matter what the market conditions say, the show goes on. And I think this is also very important for like also technical projects. So, I mean, you can also hire some media people for your crypto project and make videos about it. Like you can do vlogs. So the opportunities here for every crypto project is pretty much endless. And then finally, Cosmoverse. I saw many shirts here at the conference as well. So Cosmoverse is a crypto conference, and it took place in Lisbon in 2021, last year. And yeah, we created a lot of value to the community because we were like just 4 friends from the Cosmos community, together with my friend Fabian from DeFi Times, and also with Basil and CryptoCito. We said, okay, we want to have a Cosmos conference in Lisbon because there were so many other crypto conferences taking place, like the Solana Breakdown, ETH Lisbon, etc. So we said, oh, we need something for the cosmonauts as well. And we planned it for like just 150 people, but then at the end of the day, we had, yeah, almost 800 people. It was a 2-day long event, and we brought all the cosmonauts into one room, and the people started talking to each other. New developments got kickstarted. So this was very, very cool to see. And yeah, we created a lot of value, and this got very appreciated. And now I want to show you a very short video.
Okay, so yeah, I'm really excited for Cosmoverse, the conference here, Cosmos specific, organized by the community, by the cosmonauts, for the cosmonauts. And
I think the Cosmos community is like amazing. Cito and the DeFi Times folks, and you know, they just got into the ecosystem like a few months ago, and now they're like running the biggest conference. And I think that's what's like really exciting, that everyone's so engaged and active, and you know, wants to contribute back to the ecosystem.
So many different projects coming out, so many collaboration, so much potential.
Morning, guys. Really excited about this. It's been a long time coming.
And I think this is one of the greatest events we ever saw here in this blockchain community.
How many people are building with Cosmoverse right now? All right, that's some good hands, that's good hands. All right, this is what I like to see. I like to see this.
10% implementation is better than 100% planning.
Hey everybody, my name is Jack Zamplin. Many of you know me from various Cosmos things.
Hello, Cosmos.
My name is Federico.
Joseph Falchami.
My name is Marcus.
My name is Nicholas.
I'm Jazir.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael.
All right. Hey guys, my name is Wasmankin. I'm just joking. Or am I?
Here at the first Cosmoverse. How is the party?
The party's amazing. The view's amazing. The drinks are amazing. You're amazing.
Cosmoverse! Literally the largest Cosmos conference we've had so far.
So guys, you heard it here. Cosmos is absolutely going crazy. Cosmoverse is lit, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, and the next one actually will take place in Colombia, Medellin, in September. So if you're interested, you can follow it. And then, like, the Osmosis community really appreciated that we set up this event. So we didn't plan to make any profit with that. We just said, hey, we are for cosmonauts. We want a Cosmos conference on the ground as well. So thanks to governance proposal, the Cosmos community said we are delegating a certain amount of Osmo to the Cosmoverse team to do more. We want to see more events. And that's why so far we did some multiple Cosmos meetups all around the world. And this year we did it, for example, in Denver. We had 2 meetups in Denver along East Denver. Our mission was to get all these ETH maxis into the Cosmos. and the people really enjoyed it, and it was pretty cool to see. And now we said, okay, we don't want to stop here. We want our annual conference year by year. That's cool, and we also want to see our meetups here and there. That's also nice, but we want to do a little bit more. So I want to share an internal roadmap with you, what is up to come with Cosmoverse. So of course, in September 2022, we will have the Cosmoverse conference taking place in Medellin, Colombia, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. We can do a lot of cool things there. But by the end of the year, we also want to launch our Cosmoverse incentive program so that people can basically say, okay, I live, let's say, in London. We didn't have a Cosmos event in London. We want to found a meetup, but we do not know how. We do not have the contacts for that, and we do not have the money for that. So you can come to us, and we can help you to make it possible. So it will work like this. You send us a business plan and say, okay, this is what we want, and then we can say, okay, we can make it like this. So we can make it possible or not, and then we will connect you with all the Cosmos projects. And if they're interested, they can fund your meetup, conference, whatever. So this is what we basically want to do. We want to incentivize the whole community to create value by real-life events. And in Q1 2023, we will open the applications so you can apply for it and send us your business plan, your idea, and then we can talk, and then we can finally have Cosmos conferences all around the world, similar to how Ethereum is doing it nowadays with ETH Milan, ETH Denver, ETHCC, etc. So if you have any questions, or if you want to keep in a loop regarding that, follow Frens Validator, follow Cosmoverse, follow DeFi Times, follow me, Juri Maibaum, on Twitter. And if you have any questions regarding the incentive program, you can just send me an email. And now I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. This was amazing, and thank you for coming also after yesterday's party. We have a couple of questions that came through. So first of all, from the perspective of the project starting up, what would be the best practices actually to bootstrap a community from zero?
I see many projects that overthink a lot. So a friend of ours also started a validator business, and what they often do is they overthink things. So they hesitate to launch a Twitter account if they don't even have a website, for example. So just go wild. I mean, Frens Validator also had 0 followers at one point. So this is what I would really recommend, is start on Twitter, make some noise, create a meme. So we have this handshakes. And in the beginning, we just posted a lot of memes with the Friends series from the 90s. I mean, everybody loves the series. So this is what we did. We created a meme, and we're very active on Twitter. I think that's the best way to start.
And are there some other also powerful strategies that the teams could employ, except going on the Twitter and trying, the Twitter way?
Yeah, Telegram is pretty strong. I also underestimated that. It's basically Discord was, from our experience, not that successful. But Telegram is also a very good way to do so. And of course, real-life events are very powerful, but for that, again, you need an existing community already. So I think starting with Twitter and from there going to other social media platforms is the best way.
Understand. We also keep hearing that the onboarding of the people into the DAOs is a very complicated process, and that's one of the major pain points where people are not able to activate themselves and actually contribute. What do you think the DAOs itself can be doing actually to activate the communities?
Incentives. I think incentives are the most important thing, because I see also many DAOs who just say, oh, come to us and we provide you this and this value. I think at the end of the day, especially now in a bear market, we all need also something to live from, and basically create incentives to really join your DAO and also stay in your DAO. I think that's a very crucial aspect.
And do you think that the models will be moving more towards not the DAO models, but the model where actually people are paid, similar that we see in the companies? And because when you are saying incentives, it implies pay people money. So then the contribution actually moves from public good to actually maybe employment or freelance type of gigs.
Yeah, I think that DAOs basically created a new marketplace for human capital. I think COVID was a very good example. So I was like back in university then, and I saw the crypto prices, and I really wanted to earn some money to invest all of the money in crypto, but it was very hard to find a job back then. And I think DAOs are basically a perfect infrastructure like for the freelancer space, because you just join the DAO, you create value, and it will be appreciated. So I think it is inevitable that we will see something like this. I think DAOs are still affected by multiple problems. For example, the effectiveness of a DAO. Many DAOs struggle with that. Most DAOs do not even have a structure. Most DAOs just call themselves DAOs for branding reasons. So yeah, it's still a long way to go. And I think what many ETH maxis say regarding 2022 is going to be the year of the DAO, I don't think that we will see this in this year.
Understand. And how do you think the DAOs can actually address the coordination problem? Because what I also see, like once the DAO becomes like very popular, the leadership team is having sometimes trouble to coordinate and take the leadership. How do you think that the teams should actually approach this coordination from the leadership point of view, right? Because like everybody strives for decentralization in the teams, trying to disconnect themselves from the tokens for legal reasons, decentralization reasons, and other reasons. However, at the same time, there is a clear need in some instances for a leadership and for somebody strong to actually pull through.
Yes, actually I have a very, I'm friends with a very cool Ethereum project called Idle Finance. They're like a yield farming protocol, and what they did it in a very elegant way. You can imagine this DAO like a Discord group. So they have different leagues of responsibility. So if you say, I'm just the guy who follows you on Twitter, then that's your position and you're just like a normal community member. But if you want to do more, you basically go one league up, and then if you do even more than that, if you really take a lot of responsibility, you also get paid and also get one step up, and so on and so forth. So this is like a very elegant and effective way to structure your DAO, and I think that's also kind of the future.
And do you think this will also like come through even to the governance, where like we have different tiers? Like I am seeing some projects already implementing this, where like voting is either parallel to how active you are, or like what's the stake that you actually have. So
that's very interesting, because I think that's also the discussion that we have seen after governance proposal 20 on Juno. Because many people just voted with yes, we should seize the Whales account, because like normal community members, if you tell them, hey, my funds are at risk, they can vote on everything. But Vitalik Buterin from Ethereum, for example, said that this is not a very good governance structure, because the governance structure should be orientated in your responsibilities and to your status in the community and in the project, so that other people can have like a stronger say in governance procedures, because they have like not only more skin in the game but also more experience, etc., etc. So I think this will be like a discussion that will be held throughout the next years, and we will figure out a way how to make governance proposals more effective. So I don't think it will stay like this. I think we will see many more developments around this.
Understand. And maybe one more question, last one, and that's on the personal. I feel like everybody in the Web3 is like connected to many communities. In some of them you are contributing, in some of them you are following, some of them you are actually investor. And like there's like mixed roles that people are having. Personally, I'm already in like 100 Discords. It's very difficult to keep track of like what's happening. Like what are your tips and tricks actually to know what is happening in the communities that matters to you?
Yeah, what I did is like I deleted 200 groups or so on Telegram, because you can't keep track of it. I just picked like a couple of projects, especially in Cosmos. I said like a couple of months before, I was also like following Ethereum very closely and the Ethereum communities, but I really realized that Cosmos is my ecosystem, so I just picked like 3 or 4 Cosmos projects that I really follow closely, and I also just want to cover like them like media-wise. So I do not do like content for all the Cosmos projects, but just for like 4 that I'm really interested in and that I really know about what's going on there.
Thank you very much, Juri.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the talk.